Hello there, and we are live. See ya, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to another episode of Real Talk Premier League Show. And see ya, guys, today, guys, I have one brother. Of course, you can see the brother. Definitely, you've seen him on the screen already. This brother has been lighting, he has been lighting the old place up, blazing the old space up, everywhere, the terrace, never a foul, Judge Mo. See ya, guys. Let me don't call the names, Eagle. See ya, guys, I don't want to talk about the places this guy have graced in such a short period of time. The other day, I saw him go head to head with someone who I do respect in this field. That's the Southern Gunner. This guy, he went head to head, with the Southern Gunner. See, it takes guts, to go head to head with the Southern Gunner. This brother went head to head with him and nearly got his scalp. But the Southern Gunner is a tough guy, so definitely, that probably maybe end in a draw. But whatever. But this guy, he has certain ideals, certain ideas that I do respect. And definitely, me and he'll be talking about all these things. And I do respect this guy because he's not just a brother who does streams, but he's also from the motherland, my own motherland, Nigeria. So big respect to this guy. See ya, guys. Welcome to the show. And you'll be seeing more of him down here because I'll be working with him quite closely. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the show. No other person than Dayo from the Arsenalized channel. Guys, welcome, my brother, man. He gets a po. Dayo Padimi, you're welcome to the channel, man. How you doing, man?
Thank you. Thank you. I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. I'm ready for the hard questions. I know most people that are Arsenal fans are ready to just, continually being hard on the club, but there's a big reason why I'm not hard on the club, and we'll get into it, in this session. So
see, guys in the chat, big up to Joan Smith. See, the party doesn't start without Joan Smith. You're welcome to the show. Nice to see you down here today. Football Banter, my guy. That's my right hand guy. I work with that guy closely on this channel. Football Banter is down there. Big ups. He says Dayo is a real one. See, before someone says Dayo is a real one, Mama Flossie is also in the house. She's She's my chief moderator down here at Mama Flossie. She says, "Evening, Tony. Evening, Dayo." Everyone is quite excited to have you down here, Dayo. Because such a big character. So you're welcome, man. Arsenal history and more is also down here. See, Dayo, it's been nice for you to have a debate one day, with this guy. He's not a guy, he's a man. He's an elderly guy.
I'm happy to anytime. I'm happy to have a debate about Arsenal, as long as the end result for the debate is to point the club in the standard and the direction we want it to go. That's my goal. My goal is like, look, hey, I have a standard for Arsenal. But when I look back at the history of the club, there's been spells of times where we've gone 11 years, 15 years, 20 years since the inception of the club, but we hadn't won anything. There were times that we were rebuilding for 8 years. There were times when we had to end up with a physio as our coach because of ownership. So we've been through quite a bit. In fact, there was a time where our stadium, where Highbury was used during the World War as a airship ground. People don't know all of this. So when we came back, the stadium was devastated, destroyed. There was, rebuilding. Also, so when we talk about how well the club has done today and where Mikel Arteta has brought us from in the last 4 years, can we all just accept that Mikel Arteta is a novice? And in 4 years, he has done what some coaches would dream to do. It took Fergie 5 years to get Man U on the road.
But should they have been there in the first place? Because
that's the question, though.
These are discussions of a grand tour. Because in the first place, shouldn't have gotten the job in the first place. He's a novice. A novice shouldn't be handling Arsenal Football Club. Last time I checked, this is one of the top clubs in England. Yeah, we shouldn't be with a rookie manager. But again, see, whether it's a rookie manager or not, I'm all up for giving people chances. Dio, that's the most
Yeah,
important
marshalling.
thing. Give people,
Yeah.
yeah, give people chances. I get that. See, Dio, yeah, when they broke down Highbury, yeah, when they broke down Highbury, I knew the promises they gave to us. They told us, see, yeah, we're broken down Highbury for a reason. We're broken down Highbury to go into a different stadium that will bring more opportunities for the Arsenal Football Club, that will get us to the top, that will get us competing, with the top clubs of the world, with the FC Barcelonas, with the Bayern Munich. And you know what? Yeah, after a couple of years, we got that smacking 10-2 from Bayern Munich. It left a bad taste in my mouth. See, Arsenal have grown over that period. Yeah, I do accept that. Even me and you are alike. Last season, I said that Arsenal was going to win the title. But, hey, man, we know that that's not where we are right now. Yeah. The manager has won an FA Cup. I give that to him. Even as a rookie manager, I give that to him. No problem. But again, with Arsenal spending close to at least $700 million, Dio,
it's not enough. We've not spent enough. We haven't spent enough.
Dio, we should be somewhere. We should be winning trophies. I'm not saying maybe winning everything, but we should be somewhere.
Let's start. So let me break it down for you. Listen, we should be somewhere. Yeah. And the idea that somewhere where we are now is not somewhere is a joke, because we are somewhere right now. Let's leave this season out of it. Let's take away the fact that we're top of the league goals difference. We're playing more confidently. Let's take away the fact that the team looks more matured than last season and the way that they're playing. Let's take away all of that from this season. True. Last season, we were not supposed to be in the running for the race. And the fact that we were in the title race last season tells you a lot more about what the plans for the club is. Secondly, let's take it back to the seasons before that. In 4 years, you're talking about $700 million. The teams were competing against the likes of Man City and Liverpool. Their wage structure in their team and the money that they spent is in the billions. So we're not even anywhere close enough to be competing against those guys. If you look at their bench and our bench 2 years ago, it was a joke. We were a joke to them. Even last season, we were a joke on our bench. We're talking about squad depth. We're talking about building the team. We're talking about backroom staff. We're talking about mentality of the fans. We're talking about building a work environment that people are comfortable in when they come to the Emirates and they're coming to their day job. It's going to be a job where it's like, you know what? I'm coming to give my best. Arteta in 4 years has taken us from 8th, 5th, 2nd. Right? When he took over the club, we were 11th. No, hold on. And so we say this, right? It took Klopp 6 tries, or the 5 or 6 tries to win his first Premiership. Do you know how much he had spent by that time? Just go do the math. I won't do that breakdown for you. Pep Guardiola has won his first Champions League after going there 7 times. Go do the math on how much Pep has spent to win that first Champions League. Football has become a money thing. And guess what? Up until 2018, Arsenal as a club did not have we didn't have one ownership. Now that we have the Cronkies as the owners of Arsenal, do your research on the Cronkies. The Cronkies, every single sporting outfit that they own, even the ones here in the United States, have all won trophies, but they built those teams to win trophies. The Rams won it when they took over. It waited a few years. Their basketball team has won it. Their hockey team has won it. And in 2018, when they took over Arsenal, what they did.
But again, these same teams you're talking about, managers have changed over time. It's not the same manager that was in LA Rams before when they won that title. That's the same manager that's there right now. Colorado Avalanche, different coaches. Denver
I agree with you.
Different coaches. So why do we have to stick? See, this is not the time to be talking about Mikel Arteta. I get that. We're in the Champions League quarterfinal. I get that. We're topping the league. I get that. I'm more of a unifying factor. I shouldn't be talking about this right now. But in the grand things, I don't really have faith in this manager to take us where we want to get to. But that doesn't mean I'm not getting behind the team. I'm getting behind the team. I love this team. I wanted to win a trophy. But see, Dayo, if this guy doesn't win us the big one this season, we should start, I think conversations need to be had.
Look, see, the conversation about
we deserve something. We deserve a big trophy. We deserve
Tony,
not just
Tony,
FA Cups,
Tony,
Dayo. We deserve the Premier League. I'm starving of a Premier League. We deserve a Champions League.
Okay.
How about that?
Yeah, no, I'm not. No, we don't deserve it. We have to work for it. And what we've been doing is working for it. See, what most fans want, and I don't like this ideology, because we're a big club does not mean we deserve anything. Nobody deserves diddly squat. If you don't work for it, you don't get it. So here's my thing. If you brought in a coach who is literally looking at the bigger picture, saying, I would rather build this team, explains his plan to the owners. I would rather build this team and solidify something. When we start to win, we are winning consecutively, and we're not just a one-off fly on the wall. We just win one year. So let me ask you a question. If Mikel Arteta came in and won the Premiership in his first year, and then 3 years down the line, now we haven't won anything, you still call for his head because he wasn't sustainable. So the point is, do we want to remain the club that went into... Arsenal was not even in the mud. We were the mud. Mikel has taken us out of the mud. We were the mud.
We were in the mud. I agree to that.
No. We were not in the mud. We were the mud. We were the mud. We were not even in the mud. Exactly. We were the mud. So he's taken us from that, turned us into a team that is challenging. So remember, we're challenging in a period where you have people like Pep Guardiola, Klopp, where you have some massive coaches outside in Europe and some big clubs that are doing massive things. You've come out of the mud at a time when they're juggernauts, and you're going toe-to-toe with them. That's the first thing you have to remember. The second thing is, I want a club that will start to win, and when it starts to win, it's going to be consistent. I don't want one Premiership this season, and then for 5 years, you don't win again. I don't want a club that's going to win one Champions League this season, and then for 7 years, you're not going to win again. I want a club that is going to win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years back-to-back as we rebuild again. Now, you have to remember...
We need to start that winning.
You have to remember...
That's what that winning.
Remember, that's what Pep did.
That winning.
Hold on. Look at Pep.
We need to start that winning. That winning culture should be brought back. And I've not seen that winning culture just yet.
I have seen the winning culture.
Improvements, yes, but that winning culture is not there yet.
I've seen it. In 4 years, 1 trophy and 2 shields. You may not count the
combination. No. Is that good enough?
I'm not saying
Dayo, is that good enough?
I didn't say it's good enough.
After spending 700 million.
I did not say.
I know, but we're just 300 million.
Okay. Let's be realistic.
$1 billion.
Let's be realistic.
Dayo, there should be some form of responsibility.
Let's be realistic.
Accountability, my brother.
Let's be realistic. When Arteta won the FA Cup, he hadn't even spent 70 million. So that's why he won the FA Cup without spending money. Let's put it that way first. So this 700 million you keep talking about is current day. When Arteta won the FA Cup and first Community Shield, he hadn't spent 100 million. He took us from 11th to 8th position and won those trophies. Do you want the real numbers and the facts? Then let's break it down that way. Because I like it when we say, 700 million. Like he came in on day one, spent 700 million. Hold on. So see, let's be fair. Let's be fair to who we need to be fair to. The reason I don't criticize what the club is doing now is I'm giving them till the end of the season. I hold my tongue until I want to speak up. If you fail, then I speak. Because I'm looking at what you're doing. And I'm seeing the growth, and I'm like, you know what? Hey, every task I've set for Arsenal, I'm like, just get into top 4 and qualify for Champions League. He did it. I kept quiet. I can't blame you now. I have to be quiet because I set a goal from my end and you met it. Okay, please get me into the quarterfinal of the Champions League. He's done it now. I've kept quiet again. I have to hold my tongue because what you said. I mean, I know what I want. I want Arsenal to be a club that when we start to win, we win 2, 3, 4, 5 years back to back, which is what Pep did with Man City. Pep came in, changed a few things, and the minute Pep started winning, it became back to back. It became hard to beat them. That's where I want to be. I don't want to be the guy who beats Pep this year with 1 trophy, and then Pep comes back and beats me for 7 years. I don't want to be that team. So for me, if you're going to talk about, because we throw out numbers all the time, 700 million. Yeah, he spent 700 million. But
again, Dayo, those are not numbers that are just being thrown away.
No, I'm not saying thrown away. They are real numbers.
Those are numbers. Those are real numbers.
I agree with you. So I'm saying,
that have been spent by this club, that have been spent by this manager. And again, spending that money isn't even the real thing. It's about the players and the personnel that we've brought in. With that amount of money, we've brought in players like Fabio Vieira. We've brought in players like Tavares under this manager, by the way. We've brought so many acrimonious players into this football club that don't even fit our plans. Most of them on loan, most of them we sold them out, and most of them don't even bring anything to the team. So
let's
it's not
let's.
just about spending.
I think Fabio.
No, Dio. See, it's not just about spending that amount of money, but it's also about the personnel that we're acquiring with that amount of money. How many world-class players have Arsenal been able to acquire with that same $700 million? See,
You
Dio,
can't
yeah.
acquire. Listen, you
See,
can't
Dio,
acquire.
just okay.
Okay,
You know what,
you
Dio?
asked me a question. You
Throw
asked me a
that.
question. Can I answer it?
No. I'm coming. I'm mumbling everything up for you so that you can sum everything up and give me a figure or tell me what I need to know, because I want to make this as hard as possible for you, because
Yeah,
I've seen you take many people heads off. And brother, man, I'm not ready for you to dangle my
I'm
head.
not here to take heads off. That's not what I'm here for. I'm just
Dangle
here
my
to.
head.
I'm just here
I'll
to be
make it
realistic.
difficult for you. I can go bar to bar with you. But again, yeah, see, with $700 million spent on this team, yeah, yet Arsenal Football Club doesn't have a credible striker. We out here, see, I give kudos to this manager for a reason. At the second half of the season, he's been able to find a way for this team to be able to get scoring, because at the top, at the start of the season, goal scoring was our big problem. But he has managed to get something out of the guys. But you just know it. You feel it that there'll be a time when
I
my
don't go
guys
by.
need
I don't
that
go by
striker.
feelings. I don't go by feelings. So
No,
what's your question?
no. But you don't have to go by feelings. But you need to understand this, because we don't have a world-class striker. If we have a world-class striker, please let me know.
Can I answer this to you? No, we don't have a world-class
Talk to us.
striker. But no, hold on. We don't have a world-class. No, hold on.
Exactly.
Let me answer now. We don't have a world-class striker, but we are the second highest scoring team in the whole of Europe. Top 5 leagues. Right behind Inter. Right behind Inter. Hold on.
I get that. And I put that based on the context already.
So let me explain this to you. All I want is for them to score goals. I don't care if you have two 2-year-olds in front and 7 grandmothers at the back. If you score and you're winning, you are achieving the goal that I set for you. If my goal is that you're going to win and you keep winning, I don't care how you do it. I don't care if you pack the bus. I don't care if you have a world-class striker or not. Score the goals, win the games. Against Porto, I heard people say all kinds of things, and I was like, did we win? We won. That's all I care about at this point. Because the bottom line is, because the bottom line is, we're all trying to criticize Arteta based on he hasn't won anything yet, but he's winning and heading in that direction. And instead of saying, okay, well, whenever you win, great. Whenever you win, great. People are saying, well, yeah, we don't have a world class. We find a reason to point out what we want for the team, not realizing that the goals that we want the team to achieve with a world-class striker, which is score goals, we are the second highest scoring team in all 5 leagues, top 5 leagues in Europe. Think about that again. This is the team. This is the team that they said goals will be their problem because they don't have a striker. And I agree, that would be a problem if you don't have a striker. But you're scoring though. See, if you're scoring, I'm not even look, dude. What do you? There are many ways to skin a cat. So when people say things like, "Oh, without a top striker, you're not going to win," I'm like, well, I don't know now because they're proving me wrong. They're scoring. Somehow they're doing it. I want a top striker. I really want a top striker personally. But if you're scoring, I can't like. If you run a business today, right, and you say to your manager, if you turn over $1 million every single month, you can stay. And the guy finds a way to turn over 1 million without selling most of your products, or however he does it. He just uses what he has at his disposal and turns around the 1 million in profit. Are you going to turn around and say, you didn't do it the way I wanted you to do it, so I'm sacking you? Hell no. I'm not going to do that. See, look, this is where fans become disingenuous, where we say, oh, they didn't play beautiful football and they won it, so I'm not happy. So my goal is win. And the fact that you're on track to win, I can't really criticize you now until you don't win. Because when you don't win, then I'll point out like every single thing that I said that I really wanted you to do. This is what the problem is.
I get it, but he didn't win
that's how I look at it.
In his first season, fair enough, he won the FA Cup. Let's throw that away. But in the second season, he didn't win. In the third season, he didn't win. In the fourth season, he didn't win. This is 5th season. So
this is not his 5th season. This is another narrative. No, I'm going to stop you there, Tony. We have to change that narrative. This is not his 5th season. Can we stop doing this as Arsenal fans? Mikel Arteta is not been at Arsenal for 5 seasons. He joined in 2019, December 19. Hold on. No. December 19, 2019. Hold on. That was the first. That was half a season. That was half a season. His first full season. His first full season was when? 2020, 2021. 21, 22, second season. 22, 23, third season. He's in his 4th full season. 23, 24. His 4th full season and a half. Let's not do that half season. In fact, he came in, we were 11th. Whatever he did. I don't even count that. But for us, and this is why people get upset, because when we say 5 seasons, we've thrown out the narrative that people are thinking he's been here 5 straight seasons, that the next season is going to be the 6th. And it's not true. That's not true on his record. If you go look at the dates, according to his contract, he's not been here 5 seasons. We need to stop doing those little, like, those things are things that are out there and people believe it.
No, I get you again, but again, see, Dio, yeah, you've just said Arsenal is leading the goal charts. Yeah, we've been scoring goals, but at the end of the day, is it goals that's the goal of our season, or is our goal in the season to actually win trophies and not just to win individual
The goal is to
exploits,
win.
individual adventures? No, I get that, but it doesn't matter if we get to score more goals and don't get to our end goal at the end of the season. But again, I do understand that people have different end goals at the end of the season. This leads me to my question, my brother. What is your end goal? What are the standards you set for this football club? What are the standards you hold in Mikel Arteta to by this season? What are the standards? What do you want as an Arsenal fan this season? I know my standards, but I will not hold that over you, because we're 2 different people. We have different standards, and people understand standards differently. What is your own standard of this football club right now as we stand?
My standard.
Do you want Mikel Arteta to actually achieve this season? I want to test. My
standard for Mikel Arteta is to win the EPL this season. I don't see us winning Champions League, but I see us winning the EPL. That's the standard I've set for him this season, and he's on track to do that. He's on track to actually do it if he plays. If I feel that he's matured the way he's supposed to have matured, he's on track to do it. A great coach once said, "Defense wins you championships, offense wins you games." True. Everybody criticized Arsenal for not having an offensive striker, out and out striker. We're not going to score goals, but we're the highest scoring goal team right now in the EPL, which means we have covered that part of it. We are scoring. Great, right? We are the best defensive team in the league. And a great manager once said, defenses wins you what? Trophies. Offenses will win you games. So offenses are winning us games, and our defense is the strongest right now. So based on that logic, Mikel Arteta is already doing what I expect him to do to make sure he gets that trophy. He's defending strong enough against all the teams that we need to play against, and he's being offensive enough. The boys are being offensive enough and scoring the goals. So my standard for him is to win the EPL. And right now, can I criticize a manager whose team, with 10 more games to go, is the highest goal scoring team, top of the league by goals difference, best defensive team, have the least shots against them? Like, what am I going to criticize him for right now? I just need to wait and see if he reaches my standard or not. And if he doesn't win a trophy, then I'm like, Arteta out. But till then, I feel that it is just disingenuous to sit here and Arteta out when we see that he's doing what we've asked him to do. Like, it's literally right there. Like, we're asking you to win, and as of now, it's not like he's 7th position right now. It's not like we're 11th.
I get that. But
so why are we being,
get that.
So why are we being
the problem there is that it's just like last season, yeah. We all said win, win, win. And
no, that's not true. This is the painful part.
And you know what? Yeah, no, that's the standard I set
last season.
Dio, yeah, see, it's been 20 years. Yeah,
Tony, let's not be emotional about this.
But Dio, it has gotten to an extent that some Arsenal fans need to be emotional. Football is an emotional game.
I agree with you, but last season, can we stop for a second? Last season, let's be honest.
Emotional about this,
Tony. Let's be honest about last season. Let's be honest about last season. Let's be honest. Let us see. But we're going to rehash this.
Dio, get me. For 20 seasons, we haven't gotten a trophy. Come on, bro. I'm talking of the big one. Yeah, I'm talking of the Premiership, the Champions League, and every other team. Yeah. Man Cities, the Chelseas, the Manchester United. Manchester is just about 10 years, that they've not won that big one. I get that. But in between, they've won some couple of trophies in between. But again, throw that all away. 20 seasons that Arsenal haven't won the big one. Dio, I'm starving of a trophy, and I don't
Yes, I
know
am.
why you
But
would.
he's
I
listen.
don't know
No,
why
no,
you would
no.
say we shouldn't be emotional
no. I'm
about
not
it.
saying. Listen,
I think to an
listen. Hear
extent
me out.
we have
Hear
to
me
be
out.
emotional about
Hear
it.
me out. You can be emotional, but don't let your emotion cloud your judgment of what is really going on.
No, it's
Like
no. But again, it's not
there's a
clouding the
big difference.
judgment because
No, see
we
that.
haven't won the trophies yet.
Listen, hold on.
It's not clouding the judgment because we've not won the trophies yet. If we've won the trophies, it's a different thing.
This is
But
what I
that we've
listen.
not
Let
won
me
it.
just say, no. Nobody's saying I've never said we've won it. The point is, we are on track. We're playing. We have a system in place that looks tough enough to be able to win. Right? Okay, good. So my question is, why are we criticizing the team when they are doing what we've asked them to do? Number one, if you're criticizing someone for doing what you've asked them to do, you're being disingenuous, because guess what happens when he does win the trophy? Two things will happen. Those who have been criticizing him will celebrate with a little bit of judgment of criticism of hypocrisy above their head, saying, "Oh, sure, good." Those that waited, right, will celebrate with nothing hanging over their head. If he doesn't win, those who did not criticize him now have the right to criticize him, and those who criticized him before will just double criticize him. That's all it is. So bottom line is, I want to be in a position where, I want to be in a position where I look at my team, I look at the positives, and then I can identify what needs to change as the negatives. And those negatives are the ones that I call out and say, hey, Mikel needs better in-game management. Mikel needs better player management. Mikel needs better time management. I'm not going to blame Mikel that they're not scoring goals when we are the highest goal scoring team. This whole idea that we still need a striker now, which we do, don't get me wrong, I want a striker. But if you're scoring, that means you figured out a way to deal with this, goal scoring issue. Even though I would like to see a top man.
But doesn't mean we don't need a striker though.
No. I just said, hear me. I just said we need one. I just said, hear me though. I just said we need one. But when the problem is being fixed temporarily, I am not going to hammer on that problem anymore, because there are other problems that can cause us issues that we need to fix. So if we're scoring goals, I'm not going to keep hammering on, we need a striker right now because you're scoring the goals. Great. All right, keep scoring the goals. Now, what about player management? What about in-game management? What about your in-game tactics? Look at against Porto. Certain things, like we didn't have the personnel off the bench to come in and change certain things. Those are the things that I will begin to criticize, because the goals are coming. So right now, you're temporarily covering that issue of striker. Come summer, I hope you go ahead and buy a striker like we expect you to. So I'm not saying the problems are not there, but if you're fixing the problems temporarily and it's getting us to where we're supposed to get to, I will not criticize you for that at that point. Now, if you were not scoring goals, then I would have lost my head saying January came and you didn't buy a striker. But you were scoring the goals. You are covering for that striker issue. You're fixing it somehow. Whatever you're doing in training is working, and that's great. When you miss it is where I would then have your head on the platter of gold.
Okay.
That's the big difference.
No problem. You know the thing with Arsenal, you know the thing with Arsenal. Arsenal keeps on giving at times, because Dio, man, I've seen lots of title challenges, I saw one last season, The last one I saw was 10 years ago. But bro, I've seen us, bottle league titles,
Can I address last season?
And bro, it hurts. It hurts.
Can I address last season? I think a lot of us. I know. But
hold on.
Sorry, let me just say this.
Part of the show is Dio. Part of this show is also to get hard-hitting questions. I want you to answer this one from Carl Rossi. Carl Rossi is in the building, guys. He's a moderator on my channel. Carl Rossi is a great guy. He knows his football, and he's been a big fan of my channel. But he's a real one. I like to call him a real one. See, Carl Rossi says this. Let's cut to it. If we finish trophyless, do you want him sacked?
Yes, I do. Question. I said that at the very beginning. I mean, I don't understand how people don't listen to what I simply said is this. If I give a standard that I set for myself, right, or anybody, and they're on track to do it, why am I criticizing them when they're on track to do it? I wait. I give you the long rope. If you don't achieve the goal, then be gone. I don't have a problem with that. Arteta out at the end of the season. If he doesn't have a trophy, out. But if I'm wasting my time right now, criticizing the things that he's doing that is working, even though he's doing it in his own style, instead of trying to help instead of trying to look at it and say, okay, what else do we need to do to actually get to the end? Oh, these are the things that he needs to change. Then I'm not helping the team. I should be helping the team to get to where it's supposed to get to. So for me, it's not about. For me, it's not.
That's what I do practically, even if I want the manager out. support the
It's
team.
not, look,
Because right
it's
now
not
we're
for,
about to do
look,
something.
see, it's not for positivity or anything. Even if Arteta wins the league, right? And then next season he makes a statement like, I don't think I need to buy any new players. I'm going to run again and win with this team. I want him out because now I see that he doesn't understand that he needs to upgrade. I'm not attached. I'm not attached to any player on this team. I'm not attached to Saka. If we need to get rid of Saka to win a trophy, let's do it. The point is, I've seen that Mikel Arteta is the kind of coach that will do whatever it takes to get rid of people or whatever he needs to get rid of to have what it takes to win. When he came in, he did that. We saw him do it. The backroom staff, a lot of them left. The major players, a lot of them he kicked out on free. Get out. Bottom line, at this point, anybody who turns around and says something like, let's ask ourselves a very honest question. In the mud that Arsenal was in 2018, which top coach would have come to take the job from Unai Emery? None. No top coach would have touched us with a 10-foot pole. We were in the mud. We were the mud. And we have to admit that. Yes, we're a big club.
Listen, we're in the mud, man.
Yes, we're a big club.
The team was in the mud. It was
I tell people this.
Was at the back. Rob Holding. I agree with you with that one. We had lots of demonic defenders.
Like, see, if he wins, look, if Arteta wins the league, if Arteta wins the league, I expect him to say, oh, I won the league with this crop of players. Now I can upgrade again. Guess what? That even attracts better players. They're like, oh, they won the league. I want to go to that team. Yeah, better players and again, remember, we're in the champion. You know, I was telling somebody we were having this conversation. He said, if Arteta doesn't win Champions League 2, he bottled it. And I said, do you realize that as of now, there's another side to the Champions League that people don't talk about, the financial benefits of it. Arsenal is at about 75 million euros right now because we qualified for the round of 8, right?
Yeah.
If we qualify for semi-final by some luck, I don't know, but fingers crossed, we should be clocking close to 100 million plus TV rights, like TV rights.
TV rights.
So now listen to this, right? Even if we don't win the Champions League, we have enough money and enough clout that we got close and we can find world-class players. Say, listen, if you join us next season, we can do it. Then whether it's Arteta at the helm at that point or not, I don't care. But the club now has that clout to be able to reach out. So, because now, where we were in 2018, no top player would have come to us. No top coach would have come to us. It's like taking $100 bill. It has value. If you squeeze it and put it in the mud, right, and you give it somebody, you're like, what kind of money is this? You've got to wash it clean. You've got to wash it, clean it, dry it out, let it be, before it still has its value. Arsenal is still a big club, but we need to wash off all of these things. The idea that we think it can be done overnight is what I don't agree with, because short-term goals. Listen, short-term goals.
But again, do you agree that criticism comes with the job?
Yes, it does.
Because we also have to understand that criticism and responsibility, accountability also comes with the job. Do you agree to that? Because I don't want to sit down here and act as if criticism doesn't come with the job. Even me, where I work, there are critics down there, but it's not criticism to tear you down. It's criticism to help you, gain more experience, gain more help when you do need one, to help you recognize that, hey, see, maybe things are not going quite right. Yeah. Why don't you try this kind of system and see if it will work? So criticism comes with the job. Do you agree that criticism comes with the job? And that
I agree.
Some certain kind of fans have the right to actually
no. Fans have the right. Fans have the right. Fans have the right to criticize.
Do you agree to that?
I agree that fans have the right to criticize. It's the type of criticism that you give. So let's give an example. I'll give you a good example. Arsenal is not scoring goals at the beginning of the season. Arteta needs a striker in January, which I was shouting everywhere.
Sure.
Somehow he fixed the goal scoring thing. Why am I still criticizing him for, like, at this point, why am I still hammering on something that I wanted to be fixed, but he fixed it in a different way? Why am I, like, that's where I'm at. I'm like, okay, hold on. He has started scoring. So why do I still shout about his striker? No. Okay, let me criticize something else. I have a right to criticize. Every fan has a right to criticize the club. My thing is, how are you criticizing the club? Is it constructive for the club to be better, or you just want to sound right when things fail and say, "Well, yeah, I told you so. I told you so. He wasn't going to." Like that's where I don't value certain criticism. I'm just like, you know what? If you're just going to criticize for criticizing's sake, then it doesn't help. It doesn't help in any way, because you're no longer helping the team or the club in the direction that it needs to go by putting that narrative out there. If you're putting in the right criticism, like if Arteta tomorrow decides to play a whole defensive midfield and one person up front and we lose a game, I'll be like, out. You're crazy. You're not serious, Arteta.
Yeah.
What are you doing? I'll criticize
Yeah.
that tactic because we've never played it before. It's silly of him to do that. We have to realize that if we're criticizing, right, because this is what got us where we were in the first place.
Yeah.
This off criticism where we just criticize the club anyhow, say all kind. Wenger was this. When people don't realize what it took us to build Emirates and pay it off in about 7 years, or how many years we paid off in. I know it wasn't the priority of the fans. The fans wanted trophies, but we became a club that owned this massive stadium where now all of a sudden all the revenue is coming back to us. We're in the Champions League. We're challenging for trophies. We're back where we were supposed to be at the table. And all it takes now is we have finance, funds to battle the big boys now that we're in the game. We couldn't have battled them when we were paying the stadium or from we owed people. There was no way. There was, and you couldn't have bought the massive players at the time. Like, do you think the shareholders who owned part of the majority shares of Arsenal at the time, the Cronkies owned majority for the longest time, but do you think that the other shareholders would have allowed that money to go out? No. There's a business side to the club. And after the Cronkies took over, I was like, yes, great. Now we have one set of owners who will know what their goal is. So I'm not positive. People say, yeah, I'm like, look, I'm objective. This is what it is. Before I criticize, I will give you the long group. So when I'm going to hammer down on Arteta and we're talking about the points at where he failed, I can list everything out for you. When you joined, you said this and you failed at it. When you said this, you did this and you failed at it. And you failed at this, you failed at this, you failed at this. So out. At that point, I'm like, out.
Fair enough. And we'll hold you, we'll hold you accountable for your own words personally.
Yeah.
But again, I won't be holding you too personally anyway.
No, hold me accountable. Look, Tony, you know me. Tony, you know me. Hold me accountable because my thing is I wanted a striker in January. You don't understand. Like, I literally was saying to myself, these guys have the money. If they sell some homegrown players or put them on loan, I was doing the maths, literally breaking down like, okay, if Nketiah goes on loan, if this guy goes on loan, and it doesn't matter, we don't need the full squad anymore. We just need the solid team to run the rest of the season. I was breaking down, we can get Victor Osimhen. If we don't get him, we can get this person. I'm sure they'll go for somebody in January. Like, that was my hope. And we didn't go for anybody in January. And then January started. And the first game, I was like, yeah, well, one-off. He just won. Okay, they scored many goals. Let me not say anything yet. I'm looking for a striker. You're scoring 6 goals in the game. I'm looking for a striker. You're scoring 5 goals in the game. I'm looking for a striker. You're scoring 4 goals in the game. I'm looking for a striker. You're scoring 3-1 against Liverpool. I'm looking for a striker. You're scoring 5. And I'm like, you know what? Hey, somehow you figured out this scoring issue, which is what I want the striker to do. I want a striker that can score, but somehow you figured out the scoring thing in a different way, a way I never thought about it. But you know what? Kudos to you. You've shut me up right now. You're scoring goals, whether it's by striker or by defender, or whether it's by goalkeeper or by ball boy. You're scoring goals. Bottom line, the ball is going in the net and it is valid. It's legal goals. Okay, and you're playing okay. So at that point, I'm like, step back. Maybe we should look at other things. In-game management. How are you managing the players, their time? Like, for example, I was happy when I knew, of course, Ramsdale had to play against Brentford because Raya is on loan, right?
Yeah, because of the contract situation.
Yeah, because of the contract, yeah. But I was also hoping that he would give Raya a game because Ramsdale a game because Ramsdale needs 5 games this season to be part of the team that will take a medal if we win. He needs to play 5 games. And he's only played 4. Yeah. So I'm like, I hope Arteta is thinking about this and looking at this boy and not just putting him on the bench, because if we eventually win anything, this kid is not going to get a medal. But because of him last season, we made it into top 4. Yeah, we bottled the league last season, but because of Ramsdale, we made it into top 4. He was keeper of the year. So you have to understand that.
But again, we took a chance here at him against Brentford, and look at the situation we got into. So I'm ready for Ramsdale not to even play.
No, listen, I hear that. Listen, I hear.
I don't even want him to don an Arsenal shirt again. As far as I'm concerned,
as far as I'm
sincere with you,
as far as I'm concerned, we didn't take it. As far as I'm concerned, we didn't take a chance with him. We didn't have an option.
No. But
we didn't have an option.
But Dayo, you have to agree that putting him right now in the next, we have only 10 games.
No, we're not putting him in anything. He's done his 5 games. You're missing my point, Tony. You didn't hear what I said.
Has he done the 5 games?
He's done the 5 games. Brentford was
good. Even if he hasn't done that 5 game, I would not put him there.
Hear me out. Let me say it again. I'm saying when we were going to play
Say it
Brentford,
again.
right? When we were going to play Brentford, because of the contract, we had to play Ramsdale, regardless. Whether or not we liked it or not. We had nobody to put in there. I'm not putting Carl Hein. I'm not putting Hein in goal.
Yeah,
not right now.
in the conversation.
So we were going to play Ramsdale, regardless of what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
So here's my thing. That would have been Ramsdale's fifth game. That was Ramsdale's fifth game, and that was good because I believe that Arsenal is going to win this season with the way we're playing, and Ramsdale deserves a medal. That's what I'm talking about because he helped the team get here. If you don't play him, I'm glad we had that Brentford game. He played in 5 games, and this is what I'm talking about: changing managing players. Because if you don't give Ramsdale his 5 games and he doesn't get a medal before the end of the season, you start seeing infighting in the club. These players like, oh, after I got us here, they didn't even give me up to 5 games, so now I don't get the medal. Those things in the locker room affect the players on the pitch. You don't want those kind of nonsense as well. There's people management. There's like on the pitch. I know as fans, we just want to see good football and goals, and that's what I want to see too. But you have to look at the entire thing, the entirety of the club, and how the mentality is. So he got his 5 games. So he's rest assured that even if he doesn't play the rest of this season, and Arsenal wins the Premiership, he's getting a medal. He's taking something home because he helped us get here from last season. So those are some of the things that I'm talking about: people management, skill management. So he's got his 5 games. We're not going to risk putting him in a game. But if Raya gets injured, what do we do? But if Raya gets injured, what do we do then? So this idea that, of course, Ramsdale is an erratic coach, an erratic keeper, which is true. What do we do if somebody bumps into Raya and Raya hits his head on the goalpost and he's out for 2 games? What are we going to say? These things happen. The game comes with all these dangers.
Then
then
that would be the calamity, and to be the manager that will have to take that shot. The manager will have to take that shot. But again, let's progress into more heavy stuff. Yeah, see that if me and you stay here, me and you will take 2 hours, my brother, man. You need to go to Egal's channel. Which striker are you going to be looking at come this summer? Because you do agree with me. At least I found that out, that we need to go get a striker. Would you be looking at definitely the interest in Ivan Toney? It's a dwindling one. So we'll put that aside. There's Victor Gyökeres. There's Vlahovic, who's who has resuscitated his career at Juventus, scoring some certain kind of goals this season. And there's also that Victor Osimhen, our fellow countryman. Who do you want to see Arsenal bring in before we go into this Champions League talk?
I honestly, I like all these strikers, but one thing I've realized about Arteta and I've seen is that last season Arsenal played a certain type of football. This season we changed it up. Last season we played free-flowing football. We're brilliant in the first, of course we bottled the league according to everybody, but I keep on laughing because we weren't even supposed to be we weren't supposed to be challenging for the title last season. We were not supposed to be in that race. No pundit in the world gave Arsenal listen to this, and this is the truth. You can go back and check it. Not one pundit gave Arsenal a chance. Everybody said Arsenal would not make top 6 last season. Every single pundit, you go look at go run your data. Every single pundit, every single fan was like, if we make top 4. All of us said if we make top 4 because we bottled it to Tottenham the season before when we came 5th. Remember? If he doesn't make top 4 this season, if he doesn't make top 4 this season, Arteta out. Okay, we set top 4 for him. And then suddenly the boys look like they're challenging. And now if he doesn't win it, why are we changing and rolling the bottle down the line? He made the top 4 and he came 2nd. That's what I had said for him at the beginning of the season. And that's what he gave me. This season, we're playing more dominating, controlling football. Arteta has changed his style from free-flowing to more dominating, more controlling football. And I'm just like, I don't know what style he's going to play next season. So my point is, whatever striker works for the style that Arteta wants to play, whatever striker, go and get it.
Striker is that? What striker is that?
For me, I'll be honest. Look, do you know who I would pick if I wanted a striker right now? The way Arsenal is playing right now, Alexander Isak would be my striker. The way Arsenal is playing right now, Alexander Isak of Newcastle would be the person I'd bring in. Looking at the formation, looking at the play, looking at how Arteta plays, and looking at how Arsenal plays with Odegaard and the way we release people, Isak would have been the person I'd have gone for. Right now, I'm saying form-wise and the way the team is right now, form-wise and the way I go by what I see. I feel like he would fit in, slot in. He drops deep like Jesus a lot of times to help the ball, receive the ball and move forward. He plays very good one and two, but he's a clinical finisher once he gets in front of the goal. He's not getting a lot of balls fed to him at Newcastle as much as he did earlier in the season. So that's somebody I would have gone for. If you're asking me about a striker that I think will work, that's Dio's opinion. Now, what is Mikel Arteta's style of play next season or the rest of the season? If he wants to play defensive or whatever next season, he may want to go for a more conservative striker that will help in the midfield and that can drive the ball himself, not a striker that waits for them to be fed the ball. So I don't know who he wants to do. I don't know who he wants to get. But my thing is, I would rather whoever he chooses to bring in, it's on him. If it fails, then you're out. If you don't win the trophy this season, kick him out. But my thing is, if we're asking him to be kicked out this season, I hope we're ready to realize that there's no top coach out there right now readily available that we can bring back in, because all the top coaches are renewing their contracts. A lot of them are renewed recently now, and a lot of them are going to stay out of the
That's another thing. Yeah.
And to buy them out of those contracts, we're going to start hitting FFP. By the time we buy a top striker, buy this, and then renew a coach, and then bring in all that money, then we're going to start having problems. So we have two options. Mikel Arteta is on track. The way he's playing, for me, I still call him a novice coach. Being a novice coach, the way he's playing, on track to win the trophy this year. And I fingers crossed, he's doing the right thing so far. I hope he does win. I want him to win. I want my club to succeed. I never want Arsenal to lose a game. I never want Arsenal to fail. But I will be objective about my criticism about the club. I will lay targets for them. And if that target is not met, you will hear me. I'll be the loudest. I'm like, at that point, exactly. It's like, hey, get out. Yeah.
Exactly. Just before we get into this Champions League stuff, which is our last topic before you go, big up to everyone who's joined us this evening. Yeah, Malia, Drew Gunners, our graphics guy. Big up to you, Durant Smith, also Arsenal history and more. Carl Rossi, all of you. Yeah, big up to you. Adama Productions, all of you. Yeah, big up to all of you. And of course, I have Manny Tangadurai, that's our brother. Yeah, that's Manny Tangadurai. Manny, today I did bring Dio from Arsenalized channel. Guys, if you're asking, his channel is called Arsenalized, so you could just go down there. Yeah, of course, it's a new guy in the space, but see, this guy is the darling of the big channels. The Terrace, they love him. Never a Foul, they love him down there. Judge Mo, they love him down there. He's the new darling of of the whole space. So I decided to bring him in today for a chat.
I'm not darling. No, I just love my club. I just love my team. I just love my team, and I'm objective about, and I'm realistic about what I see. I know how I really feel about Arsenal. Like, if I say how I feel, most people will be like, that is not achievable, Dio. You must be crazy. Like, literally, in my heart of hearts, I wanted a quadruple, but I'm like, do we have what it takes to win a quadruple? We don't. So let me sit down and reanalyze this again. We don't. Do we have what it takes right now? No. Do we have the potential to be able to do it in the future? Yes. At the rate at which we're going, yes. And if we do, if we invest right, we do right, then we will get there. But I will not be sentimental. I'll not be sentimental about it in any way.
Good and okay. I have one of the most experienced Arsenal fans that I know in this space, in Manny Tangadra. I don't know if you've met this brother, but if you've met this brother, then definitely. If you've not met him, if you've not had a conversation with him, I think you should have a conversation with him. He's a gentleman and easygoing, and it's someone you could actually have a conversation with. He says, big up, gentlemen. The big issue I have is that Arteta got rid of more than a few players who, quite frankly, are better than some of their replacements. For example, Matteo Guendouzi. What do you have to say to Manny Tangadura? He just threw something at you.
So Manny, I think one of the first things you want to hear Arteta say, if you go watch all of Arteta's interviews, which I've watched all his interviews since he came in 2019, the first thing that he talked about was people who wanted to play for the badge. I don't. If you're the best and you don't want to play for the badge, why are you there? Like, what? Yeah. You're bringing nothing but negativity, and you're not going to play for the badge. So you're never going to give your best. I'd rather have somebody who I know that has potential to be as good as you, wants to play for the badge, and bring them in, because I can't get anybody better than you, because they don't want to come because I'm in the mud as a team, and grow my person from scratch. I'd rather do that and build my long-term goal than try and die on the short-term goal leash, because the short-term goal leash is going to kill me. And let me just I want to say something to Carl Rossi. How I feel, Carl, right, is personal to me. It is not going to change what happens at the club. So when I'm speaking about the club, I'm going to speak about the things that will affect the club and change the club. My feelings don't mean diddly squat. It doesn't. No matter how it doesn't mean diddly. I can feel the way I want to feel and be upset and be angry. But is it going to help the club? No. So rather than come out and be like, I feel this way, if the club, like all that is not going to help. I'd rather be like, hey, okay, so what's going to help this club?
Yeah,
if Arteta is not going to help the
definitely.
club, then Arteta out. If Arteta is building something and I'm like, okay, Arteta might not be able to take us to the next level after this season, which coach can we bring in to take what he has built so far? Because he's built a good momentum. Which coach can we bring in that can take that momentum and the mentality from this level to the next super level? That's what I'm talking about. I'm not just going to be like Arteta out, no plan for a coach, and then the next coach now starts to rebuild from scratch. Then I start accusing that one too. Enrique out, and then Julian out, and then man, how many outs are you going to out? Like there has to be a point where
As far as we can win trophies, right?
Yeah, there has to be a point where we can become sustainable in winning trophies.
In winning
That's
trophies.
sustainable.
Sustainable, that's the word. Big ups to Rohit Sani. Rohit Sani, big ups to you, man. I've not seen you here before. If you're new to this channel, please smash up the like, subscribe to the channel. If you've not subscribed to The Arsenalized, please make sure you go. See ya, guys, yeah? You know how we treat our guests down here. We are gentlemen and gentle ladies down here, yeah? Please go subscribe to The Arsenalized. I think his channel is just called Arsenalized. So just go there. He's new into the space. He's trying to, put himself out there. But, like I told you, he's the darling of the big stations right now. So just go down, just go down to his channel, yeah, and just go and smash up the likes down there with some of the. He's coming out with many big things in the future, and is one podcaster that I would like you guys to get to watch in a few months from now. Yeah, guys, you guys will know who this guy is sitting down here with you. Yeah, you don't know what it's gonna be in the next 6-7 months, so just watch out for that channel. It's gonna be big. Yeah, so please go down there to The Arsenalized and smash up the likes down there. Yeah, Arsenal history and more has a question for you. He says Arsenal have 440 million in 2 reserves accounts. So the club has money. The fact clubs like Man City may have more means nothing when you have to play within FFP rules. All clubs have to balance the book. What do you have to say? I really respect the guy, so.
Yeah, that's true. Like you can have all the money in the world. You don't want 115 charges like Man City right now. You don't need that kind of thing hanging over your head as well as a club. You really don't need any extra wahala around you when you are trying to build something that is sustainable for the future. I watched this team win back in the 90s, the 2000s, and now that they're not winning, for the longest that they haven't won, and I'm talking about winning just the EPL itself, because we won other things. It might be small to people, but it is what it is. We won them. Regardless, it's part of our trophy cabinet. Am I happy that we haven't won? No, I'm not. Do I want us to win and be sustainable winning for many years? Yes. That's where I want us to be. I don't just want to be the club that wins one of 2024 and then don't win till 2029 again, because we'll just keep hammering on the same thing. So, at the end of the day, I just want a situation whereby this club is positioned to win and win consistently for a few years, not just a couple, not just 1 or 2, like 3, 4, 5 years. And then we can then maybe step back and say, well, yeah, we've done something good. Let's restructure again and let's, see where we can push on to, because football changes over time. Yeah. And that's what I'm talking about.
Dayo, the last one, because I know you have to go to Egal's channel right now. See, Arsenal have been drawn against Bayern Munich. Please give us your background to this quarterfinal. What do you think is going to happen? See, yeah, this is where I draw the line. Yeah, this is where I draw the line with my criticisms. Yeah, when Arsenal is in a certain phase, yeah, where we need to get behind the team. Now, I'm not even talking about the manager. Yeah, throw the manager away. I'm talking about the team. Yeah, we need to get behind the team. We need to make sure that the team is put first. It's the team first, rather than talking about Arteta out or whatever. That's what concerns me, because at the end of the day, nothing concerns me with Arteta. What concerns me is this football club winning a trophy. That's what concerns me. Yeah. So get behind the team. But again, what would you like to say about this a draw we've just drawn with
it's a difficult it's a
Bayern Munich.
difficult draw. It's a difficult draw. It's Bayern. We're talking Bayern. So I personally, my personal feeling is I don't see us beating Bayern Munich. Personal feeling. That's how I feel internally.
Yeah.
But when I sit down and look at the data of what Bayern has done this season and what Arsenal have done this season, if I go by just data books and go by, you know, in the whole 5 top clubs in Europe, where we're at, where they're at, games played, how we're performing, like, you know, team to team, we have a very slim chance of beating them. It's a very slim chance, but it's there. And that's why personal feeling like, oh, Bayern, we've done our best. Let's just pack up and go. That's the way I feel personally. But my emotions don't mean nothing when you look at the team and you say to them, okay, well, hey, now that slim chance can become a big chance depending on how Arsenal players and the team feels, like their drive. They can add their drive to that slim chance and be like, hey, we want this and we want it bad. And we're willing to go there and die there. Like if they go with that mindset, and because trust me, Bayern is coming with that mindset. Right. Yeah. So the bottom line is there is a very slim chance that we can nick this if and also we need to remember that in football there's a little bit of luck. In everything we do, there's a little bit of luck. If that little bit of tweaky luck goes our way, you know, if our defense, which according to all stats show that we have the best defensive team in all 5 top clubs in Europe right now, which is what the stats show. If we step up to the plate and we can hold them to a 0, if we can hold them at their stadium, which is crazy to say, at the Allianz Arena, Arena, man. If we can hold them to not scoring, I believe that if we come to the Emirates, or if we come to the Emirates and we score 1 or 2, maybe 2-1, and we go to the Allianz Arena and we hold them to a 0-0 draw because the data shows we have the best defense, and their defense is leaky this season. They have some shortcomings. They're still a great team. Don't get me wrong. I'm afraid of them. They're an amazing, But the point is, like, we see that there's loopholes here and there that, you know, that can be exploited. That we can exploit. So, you know, so let's hope. Let's hope that the little luck that we need and that little chance, you know, let's hope that it builds. But these boys they've done a lot. Do you speak your mind on your own channel? It's just a personal for others. No, my mind on my channel doesn't do. I don't do this type of content on my channel. By the way, Carl Rossi, my content is more geared towards like technical stuff that happens in the game, like how fast is the penalty from here to there, the size of the goalpost, the distance of the angle between where the ball hit and how it hit. So those are things that I'm putting into content that I want to put out. It's not really much of a my opinion. My opinion doesn't matter. I just look at data and that's it. And that's what really matters to me.
Yeah, definitely. See, my brother, man, we'll have to bring you in for another.
The assembled.
Round.
I believe that Arsenal can win the league this season. And with that, I will say peace. I have to jump on another channel. I appreciate
guys. You heard that. Tony, please shout out your channel. Let's go together. Shout out your channel, my brother. Don't go like that.
Okay, I'm going. You know, my personal channel is Arsenal Lies, Banter on the Pitch. If you type in Banter on the Pitch, you'll find me. The content you see there now is just stuff I was doing just to play, but I've set up the whole studio and plans to actually do bigger things. Right now I'm jumping on Igal. So if you guys want to follow to Igal's channel, we can all go there and go and just go and spam his comment section and say Arsenal. If I watch what's a good one, Arsenal 2024 champions. Arsenal 2024 champions. Let's go.
Dayo, it was nice to have you down here. Definitely, I'll bring you when the season reopens again. I'll bring you down here. You'll be a constant collaborator down here on the channel. So, guys, this is just a taste of what you're gonna have from this brother. From me and Dayo, we are out.